Hey everyone, it's Anthony Allen Ramos. All right, queer Latinx content creator Eric Sedeño, aka Rico Chiquito, burst onto social media after experiencing a breakup with a boyfriend. Cut to now, millions of followers later, he's using his platform for good to inspire others to love themselves, live their best lives, feel empowered, all of the good things. Eric, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. I'm so glad to meet you. I've been hearing a lot about you. And earlier this year, of course, I loved your segment on Tamron Hall. So good. But just, give everyone a refresh. Because like I said, it started with a breakup. Then you literally took over social media. And now it's a whole different ball game for you.
I was supposed to move. And I think he didn't want to help me. So he broke up a week before I moved. And then I moved into a new apartment. I got a haircut. I grew a mustache. And I had all this free time. So I started making videos. So it's kind of honestly, it was it was everything's meant to happen the way it happens. And so it was the perfect time for a reset. And then I never expected, it wasn't a strategic thing that I started posting. I just was having fun on the internet, and I just kind of kept going from there. And now I'm here, and it's just been a wild ride, you know?
I love it. So the mustache has stuck around, which we like.
Yes.
But what was it like to kind of get all of that attention? Because, you really, like you said, you didn't talk too much about, being gay, being part of the, LGBTQ community until that moment. And now you're literally all over it and using your platform to inspire others.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for one thing I think about Instagram is I'd had it since high school. So it was I didn't know how to make the announcement, or I didn't want to make a whole big post about oh, I'm gay. Everyone who knew me in real life could tell, already knew my life, So TikTok just felt like a fresh start in many ways. It was a new type of social media. It was a different type of content. It wasn't so polished and pretty, in my opinion. So it was an opportunity to just be more authentic and post to a crowd that didn't know me before. And I think that's what kind of sparked it in my head. I was oh, this is a fresh start. It was an opportunity to just be myself. So I think that TikTok really granted me access to a window into myself I didn't know I needed.
What's been the best part of the process of kind of getting this notoriety and having more access to do good things?
I think the best part has been I've just experienced so many things in my life, since I started doing TikTok, that I don't think I would have ever been able to before. My favorite moment ever is I was on the street near NYU, and this girl ran up to me and she's like, "I love you. You're one of the reasons I came out." And it never occurred to me that being gay publicly, or being just talking about being gay so openly with the internet would ever have any sort of influence on that kind of someone's relationship with their sexuality. They were just oh, this person's so open, I could be open too. I never crossed my mind that that was how people were affected by it. So that was probably the best. I always go back to that moment because it was really, really crazy to me.
Well, I mean, and also I think that, that's the power of social media when it's being used for good, which I love. And I also think, you've talked about being, like I said, a Latinx queer person. There's so much can be rooted in tradition when it comes to Latinx culture. Do you find that people are, reaching out to you, whether they're, from different backgrounds, but also, relating to being someone who is, Latinx and also queer?
Yeah, I mean, I think also one thing about me is I'm very Americanized. I didn't grow up speaking Spanish. And so there's a whole, also on top of just being queer and Latino, there's a whole nother level of people who are queer and Latino and don't speak Spanish. And I feel that I'm trying to be more open about that, because I'm it's not I'm ashamed of it. I wish I spoke Spanish, but it's just part of who I am. And I think that there's so many people who go through all the same things I do and experience all the same things I do. And so I'm not actually that special. That's how I think about it. I'm there's so many people just like me to be a representation of my community in some way, shape, or form. I feel a part of me feels disconnected because I don't speak Spanish fluently, a lot of people. But it's nice that some people will comment I'm in the same boat. I don't know why my parents didn't teach me Spanish, all these different things. And I don't know. I feel all my imperfections make me more human, and that's the only way I can equate it,
I love that. You know, I'm glad we're always talking about, you know, you talked about people recognizing you and feeling impacted. You know, we work with media so much. Was there ever something on television or on the internet or in the movies or video game that you were like, wait a second, like maybe I'm gay, maybe I'm part of the community, that was like super, you know, pivotal or instrumental on your kind of accepting of yourself process?
Well, funny enough, like I feel like YouTube was huge access to like gay couple. Like I always go back to Joey Graceffa and like Daniel Frida. Like I remember they were probably like the first gay couple I really absorbed into my brain as like, oh wow, like they're just gay and happy and cute together. And I've met Daniel now, like we're friends, and I like really love him. And Kyle Krieger, I remember Kyle Krieger also on YouTube. Like I was like a big fan of his well, he used to cut hair, and I was like, oh cool. Like I think I just thought he was really hot. And like but like honestly, YouTube was my access to like queer people and queer culture before I even realized it. Like I didn't think about like also Modern Family, I feel like also gave me a little peek of like, oh, like there's gay people out there like on TV. I feel like that was my big that's the couple that sticks out to me the most in my head. And I know I ran into like other people, and I was always watching HGTV with my mom. So like, I don't know, there was like that real estate agent with all the tattoos who used to do interior design. There's like all these different people that like pop in my head with that question, but I feel like YouTube.
David Bromstad, that guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember his name, but yes, I remember him. And there's just like all these different people, but I think YouTube was kind of my initial like introduction to gay people in the world and on social media, like living openly, you know.
Totally. What advice do you have for, you know, kids, not even just kids, people navigating social media these days? Because like I said, it can be used for good stuff, but it also can be a little bit of a tricky spot sometimes with the negative comments and the hate, right?
Yeah, I mean, I always go back, like I'm so grateful that my first video that the first time I ever really got like a large amount of attention, I was 24. So I'd gone through all of the like finding myself, coming out, telling everyone, being gay. Like I was living gay and openly, and I loved myself. Like I did all that work without any commentary from like the internet or, you know, people who I didn't necessarily see as a friend. I didn't really pay attention to like what people were thinking outside of like my circles. And so I feel like it would be really hard right now if I was going through like finding myself while on the internet publicly like this. It'd be a totally different story, and it'd be a lot harder to like truly find myself, I think. But I would say if I was doing it, I just think that like it's okay to put your phone away, and it's okay to like, I will say ignorance is bliss. I've gotten hateful, awful comments, and there was a period of time where like, I don't know, I just got on the wrong side of TikTok, and I didn't look at my comment section for 3 months, and I was so happy because I was like, I didn't have to like pay attention to it. But I think that if you don't have to, I don't know, it's like, it's hard because I live my life really publicly, and I'm really grateful for all the love I get, but I've had those moments. And I think like it is okay to like put your phone down and just like find yourself without the internet or like publicly posting and things like that. But at the same time, like there's so much community on there that you can like see yourself in other people. And I would say if you're still finding yourself, just like you can find yourself in other people, and just like if you can celebrate them for what they're doing, you should celebrate yourself in some way too. So.
I love that. That's very well said. What's next for you? I mean, listen, like, what do you want to achieve next?
I don't know. It's like been the craziest year of my life. I'm so excited and happy. I think like I just got to host In the Mix, like TikTok's first live concert, and that was so crazy. And I would love to host more things. I would love to be able to like, I love interacting with people, and I could talk to a brick wall. So I would love to host more. And then next year, I'm just hoping to do bigger and better things, be gayer than ever, you know?
I love it. Who's the dream queer celebrity right now for you?
Ooh, that's hard. I'm trying to think. Okay, so my first crush, I remember on Victorious, Avon Hojia. Do you remember him?
Yeah.
Okay, he's not queer, is he? Or is he bisexual, or like?
I think so.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, Troye Sivan, like just to meet him, I would love to meet Troye Sivan. But if I had to meet like someone who I like have had a crush on for my whole life, it would be him.
I love that. I
Yeah.
love that. Well, Eric, it's so nice to meet you. Thank you for this chat. And, you know, everyone, please check Eric out. Like I said, Rico Taquito on social media, all the good things. Yeah, like I hope to see you in person soon.
Yeah. I'll let you know when I'm in LA.